Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over my picks for the week 2 games of the NFL season, and at the very end, an update to the power rankings. This on another episode of So week 1's over. A lot of crazy games were played, a lot of fun, a lot of good football. And now it's time to go over my picks for week 2 of the NFL season. And starting off, we got the Thursday night football game between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders. Now, the Commanders, they're coming off their game against the New York Giants, where they won 21-6. Their defense played well, though part of that might be the Giants being bad on offense, and their offense was decently good. I won't say amazing because there were some issues that occurred there, but overall, good first outing for the Commanders. Packers are coming off a game where they devastated the Detroit Lions and held them to 13 points. And this is the Lions from a year ago, who were one of the best offenses in the NFL. And the Packers beat them up. So, who do I think? Well, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers here. 1, they're at home. 2, they looked really good last week. And 3, I just think now that they have Micah Parsons, they have the roster to win these kinds of games. Moving on to Sunday, in the first game, we got the Giants traveling to play the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Giants, they lost pretty bad. Honestly, it's a question if Russell Wilson will even be their quarterback this upcoming week. And the Cowboys, while they did lose, they looked very impressive against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it should come as no surprise to anyone when I say my prediction is the Cowboys will win this. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is going to be a very interesting game. Pittsburgh's hosting. The Seahawks, they're coming off a loss to the 49ers. Not an especially high-scoring game either. They lost while having 16 points, 9-17. So there's some issues there. Their offense is just an issue in itself. The defense played pretty decent, containing the 49ers to a low-scoring game. But on offense, there's issues. The Steelers have almost the opposite issue of the Seahawks. Their offense looks amazing. They scored over 30 points against the Jets in their win in week 1, while their defense gave up 30 points to the Jets. And that is so far removed from anything I can remember the Steelers being in past seasons. So who do I think will win? Well, I think the Steelers will win as long as their defense shows up. Their offense can definitely keep up the scoring-wise, but if their defense doesn't show up and the Seattle Seahawks get the rhythm, there might be some issues there, but I'll pick Pittsburgh to win. Next up, we got the LA Rams traveling to play the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Titans, tough loss in Denver. For being Cam Ward's first game, it was a little hard. The Rams, on the other hand, are coming off a win against the Houston Texans, where they played very gritty. It was a closer game, 14-9, but the Rams looked really good on defense. Their offense, barring some unfortunate turnovers, looked really good. And in this game, I'm going to pick the Rams. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills hosting the New York Jets. Now, if you had asked me before the season who wins this game, it would have taken me all 3 seconds to tell you it would be the Bills. But now that the Jets actually look good, it's a little harder. Now, I still think the Bills are going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a much closer game than what it would have been in years past. Next up, we got the New England Patriots traveling down to play the Miami Dolphins. And holy shit, Miami. Do you guys know how to fail badly? I'm not sure what in the world happened in that Colts game, but I guess we have the Miami Dolphins to thank for Daniel Jones looking like a competent quarterback again, because dear goodness, that performance was bad. And The Dolphins need to figure it out quickly. That's all I'll say on that. I'll stop there. Who do I think will win this game? Well, the Patriots are also coming off a loss to the Raiders. And while I do think both of these teams aren't especially good right now, I'm giving it to the Patriots because at least I know they can score points. Next up, we got the Jaguars visiting the Bengals. Now, the Jaguars looked really good against Carolina. And that wasn't just on the offensive side of the ball, it was also on the defensive side of the ball. They beat up Carolina. And that is great to see them actually functioning as a team again. Liam Cohen's career down there has started off on a high note. On the other side of this, the Bengals had a low-scoring game against the Browns, which, if you know the Bengals, their defense is never the thing you want to rely on, but it's sort of what they did rely on in this game. So, who I think will win this? I'm picking the Jags. The Jags, I think, on offense and defense, are the more well-rounded team. Also, the Bengals team has left a little to be desired so far, so I think the Jags will win it. Next up, we got the 49ers visiting the Saints. Now, the 49ers, they beat the Seahawks, but they suffered some injuries. George Kittle has injuries. Brock Purdy's dealing with injuries. There are some issues there. On the other side of this, the New Orleans Saints, who lost their first game to the Arizona Cardinals. And they didn't look all that good, to be honest. My pick for this game is the 49ers. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns heading to play the Baltimore Ravens. Now, it should come as no surprise to anyone that I'm picking the Ravens to win this game. They just put up 40 points against the Bills. I don't think, even if the Browns play a perfect game, they can score 40 points. So, I think the Ravens will win. Next up, we got the Bears visiting the Lions. Now, the Bears had a great game for the first half of Monday Night Football, and then they started to fall apart. And the Lions just didn't look good for any of their game against the Packers. So we got the current two bottom teams of the NFC North facing off here. And at home, I think I'll give it to the Lions. I think it's too early to signal a collapse of Detroit just yet. They look terrible versus the Packers, but hopefully against a weaker opponent in the Bears, they can start to turn things around. If not, oh boy, Lions fans. Next up, we got the Broncos traveling to play the Colts. Now, Bo Nix had a bad game for the Broncos week 1. They pulled out the win, but it was a dirty win. The Colts, on the other hand, blew out the Dolphins. I'm not sure if it says more about the Colts or the Dolphins, to be honest. But here, I think that Broncos defense will beat up on the Colts. The Miami Dolphins defense is not the same as the Broncos defense. I think Daniel Jones and the Colts will struggle against it. And the Broncos, even if it's another dirty win, will get the win. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers traveling to play the Arizona Cardinals. In this one, we got a team in the Cardinals who won their week 1 game and a team in the Panthers that fell apart. And I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. At home, I think Kyler Murray and his team will win. Unfortunately for Carolina, they look bad week 1. It's hard to think they're going to turn around in 1 week. Maybe they will. Maybe it was just week 1 jitters, but they need to give me a reason to have faith in them. Next up, we've got the Super Bowl rematch of the Philadelphia Eagles going out to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs. And the Chiefs looked not the best in that Friday Night Football game against the Chargers. Part of that's because Travis Kelce decided now would be the perfect time to take out his teammates. Part of that was also because, well, on offense, they just, after the injury to Worthy, pretty much had no running game to speak of, and their passing game didn't pick up till the second half. The Eagles, on offense, at the very least, looked somewhat decent. They still had the rushing attack going strong. There are questions in that passing game, especially with Jalen Hurts. Can he throw to his receivers at any amount of distance other than the one time he did in that Cowboys game, which was basically a long heave? And, can he hit A.J. Brown? Can he hit Devontae Smith with any amount of regularity? The defense side of the ball, the Eagles also had issues. The Cowboys while losing, tore up that Eagles defense. And part of that was because Jalen Carter was an idiot, but I'm going to go with the Eagles here, but I'm doing so with the understanding that I just have a sneaking suspicion the issues there will not be resolved by next week. Next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to pick the visiting Falcons to win. Against the Buccaneers in their loss, Michael Penix and the Falcons looked very good. Bijan Robinson ran for a lot of yards. Drake London caught some passes. It was a good game. Even Kyle Pitts had a good game. That's how you know this Atlanta Falcons team actually means some business this year. On the other hand, J.J. McCarthy had a tale of two halves in his first game in week 1. In the first half, you probably could have ran a drunk fan out in the field and had a better quarterback. In the second half, he looks very good. So it really depends on what happens here on which version of McCarthy you get next week. Do you get the one who could literally be replaced by a average Minnesota fan? Or do you get the one that looked really good and made a comeback against the Bears? But I think Atlanta gets the win, at least in my book right now. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to play the Houston Texans. And I'm going to say the Buccaneers win here and go to 2-0. They looked great in their game. They put up over 30 points. And Emeka Egbuka looks like a great replacement for Chris Godwin right now. On the other hand, the Houston Texans lost in embarrassing fashion to the LA Rams, especially when they shouldn't have, considering the issues the Rams were dealing with, especially with Puka Nakua's injury. So, with that being said, I think the Buccaneers win. And to finish out the week, we got the LA Chargers traveling to play the Las Vegas Raiders. And I say the Chargers win. They look great against the Chiefs. Justin Herbert put up a great game. They have a trio of receivers all having over 5 catches and a lot of yards between them. Their running game was stifled a little bit by the Chiefs defense, but I think against the Raiders, that will be unlocked. And they just look like the better team. The Raiders, while they did beat up on the Patriots, there's issues there. I'm not sure their defense is going to be nearly as good at playing the Chargers as the Chiefs were. So with that being said, guys, those are my picks for week 2 of the NFL season. What do you think? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Just remember, please like, subscribe, and share. And I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.